behind the issue of mustering the religious forces to do their duty to man together with mutual cooperation. All such attempts have met with failure. In the recent history, we know His Holiness the Pope made this announcement long ago, around 12 years maybe. The then living Pope I'm talking about, who invited the whole world of Islam to the commonality of belief in God, and drew their attention to the fact that the world of believers is at war with the world of non-believers. So all those who believe must join their forces against the non-believers, and as such the invitation was extended to all Muslims. But to no avail, as we know that. The fact is that these attempts are made by those people who do not genuinely, I'm not talking of His Holiness the Pope, no offense should be taken there, but I'm returning to the political attempts, like one we have referred to. They are politically motivated, and they are not motivated from the love of God or love of religion or love of mankind as such. And these politically motivated attempts have been taking place in the recent political history, particularly of Europe. In different forms and different ways, politics have always been interested in mustering religious sentiments to support their political philosophy or political order. Sufism, for instance, has been a recent, not very recent, but in the last 100 years it has been in vogue at various stages in Western history. But those who have studied it, they know that it was always implied by political powers to gain certain political advantages. I don't want to go into all the details of this, but in answer to your question, my observation is that this is only a political attempt which is bound to fail, because in religious history we always find an urge for peace, an urge for love and spread of the message of God, always motivated by the love of God. If that is the condition fulfilled, even by the authors of this book, then I have no doubt that this will succeed. But I know these people, I know their attempts, I know the motivating factors which are obvious in fact. They are not moored in the love of God. They are political solutions to some problems which they confront today. And political solutions do not apply to religion, and religious blessing is not automatically extended to political seekers of peace. What you need is a different phenomenon, because religious blessing, which brings peace, first of all brings revolution within men, their thinking, their way of life. New people are born from within the old people, and it is those who can bring about a religious revolution or moral revolution, or bring about peace for man as whole. And these books never create those revolutions. They're incapable of producing even the semblance of a revolution within man. So although this answer may be too pessimistic to you, but unfortunately this is the hard reality of life. Thank you. I think a chair, there is a chair. If you like to rest, you can ask the question and sit over the chair.
Thank you for your answer to the question. I think this book has made a fairly good shot at shall we say, putting the thing somewhere near the way you've put it. And I am hopeful.
Thank you so much.
Sat Sri Akal, and my respectful greetings to you.
Thank you,
everybody.
It's a pleasure to see you again.
Yes, I am very thankful to my dear friend Mr. Gauri and all the other friends who have always invited me here. Thank you very much. With profound respect to Islam and all religions which I do, I've got two small questions, although I never indulge myself in religious discussions, but there are 2 points which I would like to know from you.
Please.
You
Please
being most learned around here. First is, what is in Islam, and particularly in Ahmadiyya movement, which is lacking in all other religions or paths for spiritual and worldly improvement of mankind?
Excellent. First question first, and then the second.
That's exactly.
That's right. You can occupy the chair, if you please. I have written a small article, or rather, in fact, it is a short address I gave somewhere in Australia or somewhere, which dealt with this very question: the distinctive features of Islam. And there I have not only presented one, but I have presented quite a few features which, with reference to the Holy Quran, with reference to the other holy books, I have presented as unique, which are not shared by other religions. Now, that can be read, of course. Somebody, some friend of yours, Gauri Sahib, would present you with that small booklet or a pamphlet. But what I point out here is the principal issue of there being a distinction in one religion against other. Why should there be? And without our first thoroughly examining this question, in fact, no real interest should be born in what I wrote on the issue. Why should there be a distinction in one religion against others? And should it be valid? Will it be from the same God? Now, these are the issues which are fundamental to the question you have asked. And they must be answered first. The Holy Quran raises these questions. To begin with, it speaks of commonality of all religious doctrines which are fundamental. And it describes the belief in one and the only God, the dedication and pure dedication to Him and Him alone, worship, spending in the cause of our God, and believing in the hereafter, etc. These are the fundamentals which the Islam claims are common to all religions, without which no religion can be considered to be from the same God who spoke of these fundamentals to all other religions. So the oneness of God requires not distinction as much as commonality. And it is with that that the Holy Quran begins. Now, after understanding the commonality, the issue is raised: why should the religions differ, founded on the same base? Answer to that also has been provided by many of my addresses, with reference to the Quran, of course, and with reference to other religious books. That despite this commonality, one can logically expect that there should be some changes, some differences. There was a time in the history of man when man was only confined to the areas where he was born, where he lived, and it was very little knowledge, if at all any, which is shared with other men of other religions, other areas and other regions. So man is found in some period of history as a in isolated islands of